Get your daily news fix with News Source Scrawler's latest edition, January 23, 2025, featuring crypto, politics, tech, and more. Get your daily news fix with News Source Scrawler's latest edition, January 23, 2025, featuring crypto, politics, tech, and more. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube music charts. Global top songs from January 10 to January 16, 2025. APT. Collaboration between Rose and Bruno Mars titled Die With a Smile. DTMF, song by Bad Bunny. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global, spanning from Friday, January 10 to Thursday, January 16, 2025. DTMF by Bad Bunny. Die With a Smile featuring Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. APT. By Rose and Bruno Mars and Bail Inolvidable by Bad Bunny. Nintendo US Digital Top Sellers starting January 20, 2025. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Minecraft, Stardew Valley. Steam's most popular games. Highlighting the globally top-selling and most played games on Steam. Based on the top 100 products by revenue list, for the period from Tuesday, January 7, 2025, to Tuesday, January 14, 2025. Counter-Strike 2, Marvel Rivals, PUBG Battlegrounds, Path of Exile 2, Dota 2. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA has issued the Cybersecurity Performance Goals Adoption Report. NovaSky AI's Sky 1-32B preview. This is a 32B reasoning model that has been trained using Qwen 2.5-32B. Instruct with a dataset of 17,000 items. Its performance matches that of the O1 preview model in both mathematics and coding. The development was carried out by the NovaSky team, which is part of the Sky Computing Lab at UC Berkeley. Hubble telescope images were merged into a massive mosaic of the nearby Andromeda Galaxy, forming the 417-megapixel Andromeda Galaxy panorama, which took more than 10 years to complete. Researchers at MIT have created sophisticated robotic insects designed for pollination. Scientists and composers collaborated to produce a natural rendition of Colombia's national anthem. Sam Altman from OpenAI is scheduled to provide a briefing to U.S. officials regarding advanced AI agents with expertise comparable to that of a PhD. Meanwhile, the X Games will conduct an experiment with an AI judge for the first time this week, thanks to a new partnership with Google. Additionally, ByteDance, the owner of TikTok, intends to allocate $12 billion for AI chips in the year 2025. Lone Star intends to establish data centers within the moon's lava tubes. The CEO of the French AI startup Mistral states that the company is not available for acquisition and is planning to go public. A survey conducted by GDC highlights a challenging year marked by layoffs and skepticism towards AI among game developers, with the report indicating that 1 in 10 respondents experienced layoffs in 2024. Circle has joined the tokenization competition by purchasing Hashnote, a $1.3 billion real-world asset issuer. According to reports, cryptocurrency executives are cautioning that Trump's memecoins could negatively impact the industry. Crypto.com has introduced institutional-level exchange services in the United States. Samsung introduces features similar to Apple Wallet, including layaway and tap-to-send for Wallet. In the UK, a digital driving license will be available in 2025, accompanied by a Gov. UK wallet and app to streamline access to services and documents such as digital driver's licenses, along with improvements to public sector technology. Microsoft's LinkedIn faces legal action for revealing customer information to develop AI models. News Corp, owned by Murdoch, proposes a settlement to Prince Harry to end a prolonged lawsuit. Meta entices TikTok creators with $5,000 bonuses, content agreements, and complimentary verification. The extremely violent Toxic Avenger movie starring Peter Dinklage is finally set to be released in theaters. Cloudflare reveals that in 2024, its self-operating DDoS protection systems thwarted approximately 21.3 million DDoS attacks, marking a 53% rise from 2023. On a typical day in 2024, Cloudflare intercepted an average of 4,870 DDoS attacks each hour. According to sources, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security has dismissed external consultants, as the investigation into China was reportedly interrupted. Former President Trump has granted a pardon to Ross Ulbricht, the founder of Silk Road, for his involvement in an online drug trafficking scheme. Singapore accuses a man of aiding in the creation of documents linked to a $2.2 billion money laundering case. According to Deloitte, Real Madrid becomes the first club to achieve a revenue of €1 billion in a single season. Oxfam reports that billionaires' wealth increased significantly in 2024, with 4 new billionaires emerging every week. Israel's chief military officer steps down due to significant failures during the October 7th attack. Trump expresses doubt about the sustainability of the Gaza ceasefire and removes U.S. sanctions on Israeli settlers in the West Bank. According to the Wall Street Journal, Google hastened to sell AI technology to Israel's military following the Hamas attack. Joker, Folie à Deux receives multiple Razzie Awards nominations. Elon Musk confesses to cheating in Diablo and Poe, declaring himself a living god of video games. Over 100 elite athletes request replacements for LVMH's Olympic medals, which are already rusting. OpenAI collaborates with SoftBank and Oracle on a $500 billion data center initiative, while Trump unveils AI infrastructure investment supported by Oracle OpenAI, where SoftBank. Musk claims they don't actually have the money for the Trump-promoted Stargate project. Bloomberg reports as Microsoft poised to benefit from Stargate joint venture with zero money. The CIA is discreetly employing AI to create simulated versions of global leaders. UK intends to develop a formidable supercomputer to compete with US and China in drug discovery, as a top supercomputer utilizing AI to advance vaccine development. Zelensky indicates that a security guarantee for Ukraine would require a minimum of 200,000 peacekeepers. Trump criticizes Putin, claiming he is destroying Russia by not accepting the Ukraine deal. A British general warns that after the guns cease in Ukraine, Russia will initiate a military resurgence. DeepSeek asserts that its reasoning model surpasses OpenAI's o1 on specific benchmarks. Salesforce's CEO anticipates that current CEOs will be the last to lead entirely human workforces. Microsoft has reached an agreement to help restore the Amazon rainforest and balance AI emissions, while also announcing that it is no longer OpenAI's sole cloud provider, as OpenAI's Stargate deal signifies a move away from Microsoft. Study finds air fryers emit less indoor air pollution than other cooking methods. Scientists discover bacteria trapped in endless evolutionary time loop. Men have grown twice as much as women over past century, study shows. Iran is conducting tests on combat robots and working on the creation of new models, according to the Army's information provided to the Tehran Times. Meanwhile, Syria has completely taken over the Tartus port, terminating a 49-year agreement with Russia. Additionally, Fitch has forecasted that Saudi Arabia's debt market will reach $500 billion within the next 3 years. Trump's SEC is initiating a crypto task force to establish precise regulations for the industry. A U.S. court in Texas has overturned the sanctions imposed on Tornado Cash since 2022. Reliance is launching GeoCoin, stepping into the crypto market with a partnership with Polygon Labs. Indonesia's fish startup, valued at $1.4 billion, allegedly fabricated the majority of its sales, according to a report. Meanwhile, Iraqi lawmakers have approved a bill that opponents argue permits child marriage. In Florida, a man who consumed a diet consisting mainly of butter, cheese, and beef experienced cholesterol oozing from his body. ADL clarifies that Musk's gesture was awkward, but not a Nazi salute, acknowledging it as a delicate moment. Musk's straight-arm gesture has been misinterpreted and adopted by right-wing extremists, despite his intentions. The Trump administration is facing accusations of utilizing AI to create executive orders. Trump's UN nominee supports Israeli assertions of biblical rights to the West Bank. Trump fires first woman to head a U.S. military service, as Trump sacks Coast Guard leader over excessive diversity focus. 2 Americans held in Afghanistan traded for Taliban prisoner in final Biden deal, delayed until Trump took office. Hillary Clinton laughs as Trump announces Gulf of America order. Trump announces plans to implement a 10% tariff on Chinese imports starting February 1st. Economists at Davos caution that such threats could lead nations to distance themselves from the U.S. dollar. Additionally, Trump dismantles diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives by reversing Lyndon Johnson's affirmative action executive order, instructing all federal diversity, equity, and inclusion employees to be placed on leave. Furthermore, Trump grants gun and drug agents the authority to carry out deportations. Severance. The Apple TV Plus series reportedly has generated over $200 million for the streamer. Meanwhile, ITV's Hell's Kitchen game has become a massive success, attracting 20 million players on the Roblox platform. Additionally, Ryan Gosling is reportedly in discussions to star in a new Star Wars movie directed by Sean Levy. Elon Musk is reportedly supporting UK far-right leader Tommy Robinson's legal battle, according to his followers. 2 weeks prior, Musk reportedly shifted his support from UK's Nigel Farage to the far-right figure Tommy Robinson. 3 months ago, the founder of the far-right English Defence League, Tommy Robinson, was sentenced to 18 months in prison for court contempt. Additionally, he was charged under the Terrorism Act before the far-right march in London. Harvard has reached a settlement with Jewish students who filed a lawsuit regarding campus anti-Semitism. In India, the government of Modi is reportedly planning to repatriate 18,000 Indians residing in the U.S. illegally. Saudi Crown Prince announces $600 billion investment in U.S. during Trump call. 2 days prior, Trump stated he would visit Saudi Arabia for $500 billion in trade. Mongolia secures $1.6 billion uranium mine agreement with France's Orano. Satellite image shows China's latest aircraft carrier. 3 months back, reports indicated China was constructing a nuclear reactor to power its new aircraft carrier, supported by images and documents. Anti-Trump searches seem concealed on TikTok following its return online. TikTok is now Trump's propaganda. Trump expresses willingness for Elon Musk or Larry Ellison to acquire TikTok. Mr. Beast, a leading internet creator, participates in a fresh attempt to purchase TikTok. In the 2025 State of Mobile report, it is revealed that consumers spent a staggering $150 billion on mobile, marking yet another year of record-breaking expenditures. Additionally, AI applications garnered more than $1 billion in consumer spending during 2024. Meanwhile, EA shares experienced a 7% decline following the company's decision to reduce its guidance due to a lack of performance in soccer and other games. Adobe Premiere Pro introduces text search functionality for locating clips. Meta plans to allow users to connect WhatsApp with Facebook and Instagram. Amazon will discontinue its operations in Quebec, reverting to third-party delivery services. The Royal Shakespeare Company is transforming Macbeth into a neo-noir interactive experience. In the United States, a federal court has declared that FISA Section 702 backdoor searches are unconstitutional. A 15-year-old boy has created a zero-click attack that secretly discloses the target's location. Bloomberg comments as the second Trump presidency brought to you by YouTubers. Reuters reports as OpenAI tells India court ChatGPT data removal will breach U.S. legal obligations. TikTok owner asks Chinese staff in Singapore to pay taxes to Beijing. OpenAI is developing a system aimed at achieving artificial general intelligence, AGI, by mimicking the thought processes of a professional engineer. Meanwhile, TSMC has temporarily halted production following a powerful earthquake in Taiwan, which may have impacted up to 20,000 wafers, with most likely needing to be discarded. Additionally, a study has revealed that AI can forecast career success based on a facial image. Samsung introduces features similar to Apple Wallet, including layaway and tap-to-send capabilities for its wallet. Google Gemini is now compatible with multiple apps within a single prompt, available on the Samsung Galaxy S25 series. Goldman Sachs launches an AI assistant for its staff as artificial intelligence becomes prevalent on Wall Street. CNN plans to dismiss several hundred workers as it initiates a transformation following the inauguration, according to sources. The Prime Minister of Spain calls on Europe to oppose the caste that dominates social media. Israel's defense minister states that its military operation in the West Bank incorporates lessons from the Gaza conflict, while Israel conducts a lethal raid on the Jenin refugee camp in the occupied West Bank. OpenAI reveals preliminary findings indicating that reasoning models, like O1, enhance their resilience against adversarial attacks with extended thinking processes. The Open Source Survey 2024 highlights that security in open source is a top priority, AI adoption is increasing, and open source is becoming more varied. ByteDance introduces an AI code editor developed on Microsoft software following the delay of the TikTok ban. Nepal has increased the Mount Everest climbing fee to $15,000. Trump issued an executive order to encourage beautiful federal civic architecture. 4 years ago, Joe Biden revoked Trump's executive order requiring classical-only architecture for federal buildings, reinstating freedom of design. 5 years ago, the White House declared an executive order on promoting beautiful federal civic architecture. Solar power surpassed coal in the EU's electricity mix in 2024, according to Ember. Hundreds of same-sex couples tie the knot as Thailand's significant marriage bill comes into force. In the UK, a study of GP records reveals that adults with ADHD are experiencing shorter life expectancies than they ought to. The Financial Times indicates that young individuals are socializing less frequently, which could potentially be detrimental to their mental well-being. FDA gives approval for J&J's ketamine-based depression treatment to be used independently. Researchers discover that the blood of Australian oysters might be crucial in combating drug-resistant superbugs. A study led by UT Health San Antonio reveals that females have a 31% increased risk of developing long COVID.
Get your daily news fix with News Source Scrawler's latest edition, January 21st, 2025, featuring crypto, politics, tech, and more. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube music charts. Global top songs from January 10th to January 16th, 2025. APT. Collaboration between Rose and Bruno Mars titled Die With a Smile. DTMF. Song by Bad Bunny. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global, spanning from Friday, January 10th to Thursday, January 16th, 2025. DTMF by Bad Bunny. Die With a Smile featuring Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, APT. By Rose and Bruno Mars and Bail Inolvidable by Bad Bunny. Nintendo US digital top sellers starting January 20th, 2025. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Super Mario Party Jamboree, Minecraft, Stardew Valley. Steam's most popular games. Highlighting the globally top-selling and most played games on Steam. Based on the top 100 products by revenue list, for the period from Tuesday, January 7th, 2025, to Tuesday, January 14th, 2025. Counter-Strike 2, Marvel Rivals, PUBG Battlegrounds, Path of Exile 2, Dota 2. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA has issued the Cybersecurity Performance Goals Adoption Report. Novasky AI Sky, T1-32B, Preview. This is a 32B reasoning model that has been trained using Qwen 2.5-32B, instruct with a dataset of 17,000 items. Its performance matches that of the O1 Preview model in both mathematics and coding. The development was carried out by the Novasky team, which is part of the Sky Computing Lab at UC Berkeley. Russia claims that Democratic presidents, first Obama and then Biden, intentionally damaged U.S.-Russia relations in anticipation of Trump's return. Meanwhile, officials reported that the damage to the Baltic Sea cable was likely due to accidents rather than Russian interference, according to the Washington Post. Additionally, Trump plans to temporarily revoke the security clearances of 51 intelligence officials who inaccurately suggested that Hunter Biden's laptop was a Russian fabrication. Serbian leader cautions about a foreign-supported color revolution. CPJ notes that, in an unprecedented year, China, Israel, and Myanmar are the top jailers of journalists globally. X, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube commit to an EU initiative to address hate speech. VTB Bank will be the first Russian financial institution to establish a branch in Iran. The volume of trade between Afghanistan and Iran rose by 84% in the previous year. Russia and Iran have concluded the route for their gas pipeline through Azerbaijan, with price negotiations nearing completion. In the United States, Donald Trump is set to be sworn in as the 47th president. Russian President Vladimir Putin extends his congratulations to Trump prior to his inauguration, expressing willingness to engage in discussions regarding Ukraine and nuclear weapons. China's vice president holds meetings with Elon Musk and J.D. Vance in anticipation of Trump's inauguration. India urges Russia to bring back its citizens after reports of 12 fatalities and 16 missing in battle. Ukraine's commander-in-chief, Syrskyi, claims Russian ammunition has been reduced by half due to Ukrainian strikes. With Trump's inauguration, Macron cautions Europe against relying solely on American weapons. Ramaswamy's position at DOGE is uncertain as he plans to reveal his candidacy for Ohio governor, while numerous lawsuits challenge the newly established Department of Government Efficiency as Trump takes office. Nancy Pelosi has revealed her husband's latest investment portfolio, which includes $2.9 million in shares from Apple, Disney, PayPal, and Amex. Melania Trump introduces a meme coin amid concerns over crypto disputes from experts. Telegram malware scams surge dramatically, increasing by 2,000%, posing a fresh threat to cryptocurrency investors. Meanwhile, HP initiates an investigation following a hacker's assertion of a data breach. Additionally, authors are requesting Meta's logs and seeding data related to its torrent client as part of an AI piracy investigation. TikTok resumes operations following Trump's promise to postpone the ban, while China indicates willingness to negotiate a deal to maintain TikTok's presence in the U.S. Canon introduces a new application that enables live streaming from various cameras, excluding Canon's own. It is said that Instagram is attempting to attract TikTok creators by offering substantial financial incentives. Independent receives financial support from the Bill Gates Foundation. In Saudi Arabia, Kingdom Holding announces the restart of construction on the Jeddah Tower, which will be 1,000 meters tall. Officials in France alert the public about the influx of Viagra-infused erectile honey. Alleged 9/11 mastermind consents to the use of a contested confession for a life sentence. The UN chief announces that 630 aid trucks entered Gaza on the initial day of the ceasefire. Hamas provides hostages with goodie bags containing signed certificates of captivity. Trump plans to execute over 200 executive actions on his first day in office. According to Axios, Americans generally support deporting undocumented immigrants, but their opinions shift when asked specific questions. National Guard troops reportedly express concern that Trump might use them for mass deportations. HuffPost describes Biden's legacy as saving America from COVID and then being succeeded by a criminal. The infamous pirate IPTV service Magus TV is seeking a U.S. trademark and undergoing a rebranding process. Experts warn that a salon hair wash can pose significant health risks. Research indicates that urination in chimpanzees can be contagious. A doorbell camera has recorded the first-ever video of both the sound and sight of a meteorite crash landing. A novel device has been created to capture green ammonia directly from the atmosphere, serving as a potential fuel or fertilizer source. MIT has declared that rapid control techniques achieve unprecedented precision in superconducting qubits. Biden issues preemptive pardons for Milley, Fauci, and January 6th committee members. Trump grants sweeping pardon of January 6th defendants, including rioters who violently attacked police. Trump promises to bring back troops booted for refusing COVID vaccine. Landslides and flash floods on Java Island, Indonesia, result in 16 fatalities and 9 individuals missing. Trump declares a second withdrawal from the Paris Climate Agreement and plans to announce a national energy emergency, terminating Biden's electric vehicle mandate. Researchers discover that Tesla's brand value decreased by $15 billion in 2024 due to an aging product lineup and Elon Musk's leadership. Cecile Richards, a leading abortion advocate and former president of Planned Parenthood, passed away at the age of 67 on the day of Donald Trump's inauguration. The ACLU has filed a lawsuit against Trump's executive order intended to terminate birthright citizenship, following his announcement to end this right for children born to undocumented immigrants. Trump has directed the United States to withdraw from the World Health Organization. Melania Trump asserts that the Obamas created difficulties during the transition to her husband's first presidency. In the last moments of his office, Biden pardons 5 members of his family. Trump promises a new era of national success and declares that America's decline is over in his inaugural address. Doom has been adapted into a standalone Microsoft Word document, which reportedly functions well although it lacks sound. 6 days prior, it was reported that Doom could also run directly from a PDF file, known as Doom PDF, achieving a frame rate of approximately 12.5 FPS. The director of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 hints at future developments involving Metal Sonic and Amy Rose in Sonic 4. A gaming analyst expresses optimism that the industry might see Grand Theft Auto 6 priced at $100. Researchers create a celestial navigation system to serve as a GPS alternative for drones. U.S. safety regulators broaden their investigation into Ford's hands-free driving technology. The FIA announces the confirmed debut date for Lewis Hamilton with Ferrari, marking the beginning of Hamilton's Ferrari career with a visit to the HQ and a test. EU intends to prohibit forever chemicals in consumer goods. Women who participated in sports have a higher probability of becoming business leaders. A recent study by TikTok suggests that the use of short videos is associated with reduced academic performance in children. Ravensburger reveals upcoming Disney villainous games and global tournaments. KPMG is nearing the establishment of a U.S. law firm, marking a first for the Big Four. Apple CFO refutes claims of a 75% margin on its App Store. The Pentagon indicates that artificial intelligence is accelerating its process of targeting and engaging threats, known as the kill chain. An editor of The Brutalist faces criticism for using AI in creating dialogue and designing buildings, yet argues that this approach is not unprecedented. Former President Trump annuls a previous executive order by President Biden aimed at mitigating the risks associated with artificial intelligence. The Trump administration has terminated several immigration court officials, marking the start of a crackdown. Trump has signed extensive executive actions on immigration, initiating efforts to abolish birthright citizenship. According to the Wall Street Journal, Trump will present his trade vision but will not introduce new tariffs at this time. Meanwhile, Bloomberg reports that Trump intends to implement a 25% tariff on Mexico and Canada by February 1st. Mystery mounds on Mars show the history of water, with erosion as large as the UK. Mountains on neutron stars might be detected using gravitational waves, as these mountains would create ripples in spacetime. An AI model created for protein design simulates 500 million years of protein evolution to develop a new fluorescent protein. Trump issues an executive order temporarily halting the TikTok ban and granting immunity to technology companies. Additionally, Trump instructs the government to refrain from infringing on American speech and initiates an investigation into censorship. Apple faces a Belgian investigation regarding blood minerals sourced from the Congo. Meta plans to employ fact-checkers outside the United States temporarily. Trump says he will quickly release JFK, Robert Kennedy, MLK assassination files. Trump's presidency will set off a new right-wing surge in Europe, Hungary's PM Orbán says, and Trump's presidency will set off a new right-wing surge in Europe, PM Orbán says. Reuters reports that German ambassador warns of Trump plan to redefine constitutional order. Document shows.
Get your daily news fix with News Source Scrawler's latest edition. January 19th, 2025 featuring crypto, politics, tech, and more. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube music charts. Global top songs from January 3rd to January 9th, 2025. APT, featuring Rose and Bruno Mars. Die with a Smile collaboration between Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. AAJK rap by Madhu Bandi Bagshi with Divya. Peelings by Kundakuri Shankar Babu and Lakshmi Dasa. Spotify weekly top songs global, spanning from the Friday, January 3rd to the Thursday, January 9th, 2025. Die with a Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. APT. By Rose and Bruno Mars, That's So True by Gracie Abrams, and Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish. Nintendo US digital top sellers starting January 13th, 2025. Super Mario Party Jamboree, Minecraft, Nintendo Switch Sports, Stardew Valley, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Steam's most popular games. Discover the globally top-selling and top-played games on Steam. Based on the top 100 products by revenue list, for the period from Tuesday, December 31st, 2024, to Tuesday, January 7th, 2025. Counter-Strike 2, PUBG Battlegrounds, Path of Exile 2, Marvel Rivals, Dota 2, Helldivers 2, Elden Ring. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA has issued the Cybersecurity Performance Goals Adoption Report. Nova Sky AI's Sky T1-32B preview. This is a 32B reasoning model that has been trained using Qwen 2.5-32B. Instruct with a dataset of 17,000 items. Its performance matches that of the O1 preview model in both mathematics and coding. The development was carried out by the NovaSky team, which is part of the Sky Computing Lab at UC Berkeley. U.S. debt increases significantly as the deficit reaches $1.9 trillion this year, according to Congress's Budget Office. The IMF upgrades the U.S. economic forecast while Canada and Europe lag behind. The United States initiates maneuvers to prevent breaching the debt limit, exerting pressure on Congress, as the U.S. Treasury plans to implement measures to avoid a debt limit breach on Tuesday. TikTok banned to go ahead unless it's sold by Chinese parent company, after U.S. Supreme Court upholds law. Trump says he had good call with China Xi about TikTok and trade. Bill Gates impressed with Trump's interest in global health during 3-hour dinner. Meta to break up civil rights team. Biden commutes sentences for nearly 2,500 individuals convicted of nonviolent drug offenses, setting a record. Additionally, Biden declares the Equal Rights Amendment passed, but does not mandate certification. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is reportedly preparing to arrest illegal immigrants nationwide on day one, with Chicago as the starting point for Trump's deportation plan. Lastly, an appeals court overturns an Obama-era policy intended to protect immigrants who arrived in the U.S. as children. The European Union intensifies its investigation into Elon Musk's platform, X, focusing on content moderation and requesting an examination of X's recommendation algorithms. Former European leaders advocate for the division of Google's ad technology. The New York Times reveals that a Trump oligarchy is relocating to Washington and acquiring prestigious addresses. FTC files lawsuit against PepsiCo for manipulating soft drink competition, alleging price discrimination that benefited Walmart over smaller retailers. Vanguard announces a $106 million settlement with the SEC regarding misleading TDF disclosures. American Express consents to a payment exceeding $138 million to conclude a wire fraud investigation linked to the sales and marketing of wire products. Progresso's Soup You Can Suck introduces a new soup candy for enjoying your favorite soup while on the move. Magnesium supplementation leads to improved cognitive performance following defecation in triathletes. A study reveals that Homo erectus thrived in desert environments, indicating early humans' ability to adapt to extreme conditions. Research suggests that Mars's hemispheres are shaped by mantle convection rather than giant impacts. Character AI, an AI startup, evaluates web games and has implemented restrictions to prevent minors from engaging with bots modeled after real individuals and fandom characters. Microsoft has acknowledged the challenges in securing AI after testing its products in Redmond. A hacker gained unauthorized access to the Path of Exile 2 administrator account, resulting in the hijacking of a series of characters. Google starts mandating JavaScript for its search engine. ByteDance, a Chinese company, officially halts services for its apps TikTok, CapCut, and Lemon 8, removing them from app stores shortly before the U.S. ban on January 19. Marvel Snap faces a ban similar to TikTok's. Perplexity AI attempts to merge with TikTok in the U.S. Trump introduces a meme coin, reportedly earning over $25 billion in a single night, with Coinbase and Binance planning to list his official Trump token following its extraordinary launch. Cryptocurrency companies invest millions in Trump's inauguration, and Coinbase supports a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Trump intends to implement 5 cryptocurrency changes immediately through executive order, aiming to make cryptocurrency a national priority, according to sources. OpenAI has developed an AI model for longevity research, collaborating with Retro Biosciences to design stem cell proteins using AI. Meanwhile, Colossal Biosciences has secured $200 million at a $10.2 billion valuation to resurrect woolly mammoths. Additionally, Ray Kurzweil predicted that by the 2030s, nanobots in our brains will elevate us to a godlike state. The 3 largest insurers earned $7.3 billion from the markups of their drug intermediaries, according to the FTC. In Iran, 2 judges associated with mass executions in 1988 were killed. It is reported that Japan's elderly face loneliness and hardship, with some women opting for imprisonment. This year, 68,000 individuals over 65 are expected to die alone at home in Japan. A massive lithium-ion plant in California has been engulfed in flames. Meanwhile, China has introduced a compact and affordable nuclear battery for everyday use, with the Betavolt BV103V model designed to provide 100 microwatts for more than 50 years. Additionally, Keir Starmer is emphasizing his connection with Donald Trump as he pursues a trade agreement between the US and UK, a move noted by The Telegraph as Starmer seeking Trump's support to stimulate economic growth. Digital Currency Group agrees to pay $38 million to settle with SEC over negligence. In the U.S., Genshin Impact game developer will be banned from selling loot boxes to teens under 16 without parental consent. Pay a $20 million fine to settle FTC charges. Justice Department files nationwide lawsuit alleging Walgreens knowingly filled millions of prescriptions that lacked a legitimate medical purpose. Ukraine's armed forces have reached a strength of 880,000 personnel, according to Zelensky, as they confront 600,000 Russian soldiers. Russia has declared its intention to oppose any collaboration between the UK and Ukraine in the Sea of Azov. Putin has expressed enthusiasm about potential new nuclear initiatives with Iran. FTC instructs GoDaddy to rectify inadequate web hosting security measures. Microsoft OpenAI collaboration prompts antitrust worries, according to FTC. Noam advocates reducing CISA, claiming the cyber agency has deviated significantly from its original mission. Japan government initiates compensation process for victims of forced sterilization. In the UK, Jersey residents advised to undergo bloodletting due to PFAS contamination. China reveals a comprehensive plan from 2024 to 2035, aimed at establishing a robust education nation. A Wall Street Journal poll indicates that voters are seeking a more moderate version of MAGA policies from Trump. The Telegraph notes that, except in Starmer's Britain, the left is currently less popular than at any point since the Cold War. Argentina has recorded its first budget surplus in 14 years under Milei's leadership. Vitalik Buterin outlines significant shifts in Ethereum Foundation leadership following demands for fresh leadership. Foxconn, Apple's partner, reveals plans to deploy humanoids in iPhone manufacturing facilities. China's Comac, the C919 jet manufacturer, targets flights in Southeast Asia by 2026, while Comac, the Chinese aircraft firm, aspires to double the production of C919 passenger planes this year. Ex-CIA analyst admits to leaking classified documents about Israel. Qatar announces that a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas will commence at 8:30 a.m. on Sunday. Saudi Arabia considers recognizing Israel as Trump returns, and a Gaza ceasefire is discussed. Kennedy attempted to halt COVID vaccinations 6 months following their introduction. In the United States, Moderna received $590 million from the HHS to expedite the development of an mRNA-based bird flu vaccine. Ozempic, Wegovy, and other medications are included in the 15 chosen for Medicare's price negotiations. Greta Gerwig's Narnia secures an exclusive IMAX run and a significant agreement before its Netflix debut. Coldplay's concert at an Indian stadium will be live-streamed on Disney Plus Hotstar. Paramount Plus has canceled Frasier after 2 seasons, and CBS Studios will seek a new home for the revival. Russian coal exports have significantly decreased, reaching a 6-year low, primarily because of sanctions and issues with Russian railways. Nigeria has been officially recognized as a partner country within the BRICS bloc. China plans to enhance a $60 billion railway in Turkey to facilitate the transportation of goods to the EU, thereby avoiding routes through Russia. Bob Dylan's drafts for Mr. Tambourine Man fetch over £400,000. A new book discloses that Frankenstein was influenced by the suicide of Mary Shelley's half-sister. Calder Gardens, Philadelphia's latest art museum, will debut on the Ben Franklin Park